Deep inside one of the most closed countries on Earth, a fire has been burning without a single pause for 54 years. It has outlived the Soviet Union that accidentally created it. It has burned through every night since before most of us were born, glowing so brightly that travelers can see it from miles away across the Black Desert. Local shepherds simply call it the place where the ground caught fire. The world knows it by a much darker name, the door to hell. For half a century, this giant burning crater has been impossible to put out. Governments tried, presidents personally ordered it extinguished, engineers studied it and gave up. The fire always won. But something has changed. Scientists who watch the crater say the flames are weaker every year. The glow that once lit the entire desert is fading. The door to hell is finally closing, and almost nobody will get to see it before it does. To understand why so few people have seen this place, look at where it is. The crater sits in the heart of the Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan, about 260 kilometers north of the capital city Ashgabat. And Turkmenistan is not a country you simply visit. It is one of the most isolated nations on the planet, often compared to North Korea. Tourist visas are rare, journalists are almost never allowed in, and in a country of 7 million people, only a few thousand foreign travelers make it through the border each year. Those who do drive hours through empty desert, on cracked roads, past camels and gas pipelines, until the dunes ahead begin to glow orange. There is no ticket booth, no fence, no safety rail, just a hole in the desert floor 70 meters wide, full of fire. The most told version of the story begins in 1971. Soviet geologists were drilling for natural gas in the Karakum when their rig punched into a hidden underground cavern. The ground simply gave way. The entire drilling platform sank into the earth, leaving a gaping crater that began leaking methane gas into the air. The gas was poisonous to nearby villages and impossible to cap. So the geologists made a decision that sounded reasonable at the time. Burn it off. They threw in a flame, expecting the gas to be gone within a few weeks. The desert had other plans. The cavern was connected to one of the largest natural gas fields on Earth, and the fire never ran out of fuel. Weeks became years. Years became decades. The temporary fix outlived the engineers, their country, and every promise to put it out. Today, the crater is about 70 meters wide and 20 meters deep, and standing at its edge is an experience people describe as physical. The heat hits your face from 30 meters away. The sound is a constant low roar, like a jet engine buried in the ground. Hundreds of individual flames dance across the floor and walls, and at night the entire pit glows like molten metal. In 2013, explorer George Kourounis became the first and only human to descend to the bottom. Wearing a heat-reflective suit and breathing equipment, he was lowered on ropes through the rising heat to collect soil samples. What he found shocked scientists. Bacteria were living happily at the bottom of the burning crater, organisms found nowhere else around it. Life thriving inside the door to hell. So why is the fire dying now, after winning for half a century? Because Turkmenistan finally got serious about the money going up in smoke. The country sits on the 4th largest natural gas reserves on the planet, and the crater has been burning sellable fuel every single second for 5 decades. Worse, satellites revealed that Turkmenistan is one of the worst methane polluters on Earth, and the famous crater became an embarrassing symbol of that waste. Presidents ordered the fire extinguished in 2010, and again in 2022. Engineers could not simply smother it. Instead, they found a smarter weapon. New wells drilled around the crater now capture the gas before it ever reaches the fire. They are quietly starving the flames, and it is working. Officials report the fire has already shrunk to a fraction of its former power. But here is the strange dilemma. The door to hell is the one thing the outside world knows about Turkmenistan. In a country with almost no tourism, this accidental crater is the single biggest attraction. Travelers who make it through the visa wall camp beside it overnight, watching birds dart over the flames and listening to the desert roar. Local guides have built their lives around it. When the fire dies, Turkmenistan does not just lose a mistake. It loses its only world-famous landmark, a place stranger and more honest than any monument a government could build. A wonder created by accident, kept alive by geology, and now being erased on purpose. There is no plan to preserve it. No final ceremony. 1 year, the glow on the horizon simply will not be there anymore. What remains when a 54-year fire goes out? A quiet hole in the desert, a circle of baked rock, and the strangest chapter in the history of human accidents fading into folklore. Some scientists say the crater could keep glowing weakly for years as the last gas seeps through. Others believe it could go dark with almost no warning. Either way, the window to stand at the edge of a burning crater that outlived an empire is closing right now. So here is the question this place leaves us with. Should Turkmenistan finish the job and put the fire out, recovering its gas and cutting its pollution? Or should it keep one of the most surreal places on Earth burning as a monument to the accident? Let it burn or put it out. Cast your vote in the comments. I read every single one.